Are we live? Can anyone hear me? Yeah, sorry, I had an emergency phone call with PayPal that I had to take. Pretty important. Test, test. Can anyone hear me? All right, sweet. Just had to be sure. Just low-key hoping I get to do this match a little bit later in the season. But should be fine. Looks like we're just waiting on Anpu to go live, I believe. Give it a refresh then. Right. Okay, I think we're good on that front. The music is also audible, right? All right, sweet. Oh, and to answer your question, Anpu, since I know you asked it yesterday, that Genesis layout was a one-time thing, but there are some elements that I might keep going into the playoffs. Because even though there was one person on YouTube that was pretty vocal about their dislike for the overlay, I think, honestly, it was a really clean overlay. Of course, players, do y'all want same piece sets? If that's the case, I can roll you a seed. What the heck? I just need to click that to type in a specific chat. Wait, that's kind of cracked. I mean, he had some, I'd say it was, to a certain extent, it was valid criticism. But yeah, it was definitely a clean overlay. It is really Genesis-y. So Anpu says he's down for SPS. What say you, 20 Dan? There we go. Here's y'all seed. I just learned something new about Restreamio. Really cool. I mean, I think the only, like, what the freak? I think the only criticism that I'm gonna really try and integrate going forward from that is resizing of the names and the game board, because game board was smaller. I do like the way how the names were up top, but it'd probably be a different way to do that. But other than that, you gotta, when it comes to criticism, you gotta, take the meat, spit out the bones, and that sort of thing. But right now, both players are in fact ready. Let's get the first match. Oh, oops. Let's get the first match counted down. Here we go in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Totally forgot to do an intro and everything, but it's all good. Being said, Anpu already going to start off with not the best of boards, but should be fine. He's going to get set up for his first Tetris, and 20 Dan actually having to burn to kind of compensate, so Anpu is going to be trailing, but not by much. As a matter of fact, has the lead. 20 Dan had to take an extra set of burn lines there. Of course, this is the first match of this series, you can say, between the Stochastic squad and the Millionaires. Last time they matched up, the Millionaires were able to walk away. And for them to rematch this early in the second season, the records are actually identical. Stochastic squad 7-4, Millionaires 7-3. So Stochastic squad actually wins this match. They will officially place themselves in second for the season. They're to win a very close matchup against the Rogues. With Fire Dogs making a debut as Ruby, and he's going to be playing as a Ruby again today. But so far, as things stands, pretty calm boards. 20 Dan with the advantage. Anpu finally able to bring the stack down to the bottom. So now ready to start scoring. 20 Dan having to take a couple of burn lines, so it's going to allow Anpu to close the gap. And those pieces are going to be perfect. Both players, Tetris ready, just waiting patiently. Long bar dependency created over there by 20 Dan. Tetris was going to be scored for both. Now 20 Dan looks like he's potentially going to go for this. Yeah, going for the column too, but needs an L piece, and that L piece sure is taking its time. As a matter of fact, no LP. Oh, there it is. Way too late. With that Tetris, Anpu's going to take the lead. 227 for Anpu, 213 for 20 Dan. And 20 Dan still trying to burn out of that. Of course, both of these two players are confirmed to be in the playoff roster. That is not a vid setup. That is 5 high. So it's Vits with extra steps, so to speak. This is going to be the slowdown exactly that 20 Dan wants. Going to give him a prime opportunity to close the gap, as that O piece was absolutely terrible for Anpu's board. It's going to prolong the dig. Another Tetris for 20 Dan. One more, and he's going to be in the lead. Still got just under 40 lines left to the post-transition. And once again, another poorly timed O's over here for Anpu. 20 Dan has taken the lead with that Tetris. Anpu does get back into scoring position. 335 to now 344. Tetris for 20 Dan goes up to 367. Another one goes up to 389. Anpu not too far behind at 383. At this rate, it's going to come down to the post-transition. Tapper versus Das player. Of course, Anpu has already made some splashes here in Gauntlet alone. And who can forget his amazing set with Ian Keefe in his debut. But that was in his debut. All players have had plenty of time to mature over the season. A little slideshowy there, but should be fun. 453 for Anpu's going to add a Tetris, goes up to 476. Both players have one they can't afford. There it is. Anpu transitions at 500k, almost even. 20 Dan transitions at 486. The well is open for 20 Dan, waiting on that eyepiece. Eyepiece comes, and a Tetris is going to be scored. Anpu also opens up the well, finds the Tetris as well. 527 and now 537. 20 Dan has taken the lead just by 10,000 points, and this left side does need to be addressed for Anpu. I actually like that placement on the Z. Beautiful delay burn, opens up the well. Ooh, misdrop on the T caused him to lose Das. Anpu is in trouble, able to hit a quick tap, stay alive. There's the Tetris. Wow, look at these plays over here from Anpu. In the lead, 20 Dan fighting for his life as well. Much more survivable board now than it was just a couple of seconds ago, as Anpu continues to misdrop. But the board is down towards the bottom. He's going to set up for a couple of delayed burns. Eyepiece makes it over to the left. Beautiful play over here from Anpu. Does get the well open. Is just going to commit to a couple of extra burns. 569 for Anpu. 562 for 20 Dan. Both players with boards under control. And a Tetris for 20 Dan to solidify a one Tetris lead. We're at level 22, so we still have plenty of the post-transition left in hand. With that Tetris, Anpu's going to take the lead at almost 600,000 even. Just needs to go for one more skim. Tetris ready is now Anpu, and Anpu finds the Tetris. 631 and now 623. Level 23, both players now getting stacked up for their next Tetris. Anpu forced to set up a couple of delay burns. Really untimely O, followed by a Z. Makes a small adjustment. Looked like a misdrop, actually. Just going to take the triple. 20 Dan's going to be able to take advantage. Utilize this opportunity to build up a lead. Is already up by a Tetris. Oh, what a Tetris over there for Anpu. Both players not going down. 713 and now 674. Anpu looking for a way to open up the well. Beautiful patience right there for Anpu. Long bar dependency for 20 Dan. Long bar dependency nowhere to be found. Anpu sets up a delayed burn. Those pieces are going to be well. 20 Dan hangs a piece on the left. This is not over for Anpu. Anpu, you need 718. A back and forth battle. 4,000 points actually is what's needed. That double not going to be good enough. But that Tetris is. Anpu takes game number 1. This is considered the Ruby level of play. So 1.1 to 1.25 is the division that these players are in at the moment. Both players have incremented and are ready for the next game. We can get that underway. Meanwhile, I make an announcement in the Discord server that the match is live. Trust me, after this week, we'll have all this Gauntlet stuff settled. Wait. Millionaires are actually 8-3. So if they win this, it'll be a tie. Need to fix that. Oops. All right, both players are ready. Let's go ahead and get them counted down. Game number 2. Here we go in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Start this game off. Onpu is able to find the first Tetris. 20 Dan having to operate with a not so clean board here in the beginning. But there's a Tetris for Onpu. 20 Dan looking for his first. There is Tetris for 20 Dan on the board with a Tetris now. Oh, Tetris for Onpu. Already passes the 100k barrier. Not a flawless 20. Still very respectable pacing here in the early game. Does an adjustment that actually allows for both an L and a J piece to fill in said dependency, and then isolates it with that I piece. Beautiful placements over there for Onpu. Just waiting on the next long bar to score Tetris, and there it is. 20 Dan, ever since the beginning, has been on a nice little Tetris streak here. 151,000 by 42 lines. Mathematically speaking, a 600k transition is possible, but we're still in the early third of level 18. So definitely a lot more Tetris to be played, a lot more burns to be taken. And ooh, 20 Dan in need of a T-piece. Oh, that's gonna fix up perfectly, and the T-spin is hit. It's definitely getting a little bit concerning there with the need to find some way to fix parity. But either way, both players off to a pretty stellar start here in this game number 2. Onpu took game number 1, able to survive a little bit longer than 20 Dan. After a back and forth between the two in the earlier 20s, especially the survival that both of them had to demonstrate. 253 now for Anpu. It's gonna be another Tetris for 20 Dan. And so far, the lead has always stayed within this 2 Tetris gap. Anpu does make a misdrop there. And is not getting any of the pieces that are preferred for an efficient burnout. And just like that, 20 Dan takes the lead. Slightly ahead of lines. But we are almost actually tied, separated by 12 points. Tetris is gonna kind of negate that separation. As 20 Dan was just trying to do his best to survive. Oh, beautiful placement on the O and the J burn to open up the well. Expertly done over there from Anpu. We are around 40 lines or 35 lines away from the level 19 transition. And we're neck and neck. 20 Dan was able to successfully close the gap. 480 to now 475. Anpu in the lead. But it's less than a triple. Beautiful delay burn set up over there from 20 Dan. He's able to find the Tetris. Anpu finds his as well. Well, these players putting a lot of pressure on each other here right before level 18 or level 19. T-piece doesn't quite make it all the way over to the left. I like the Z-vert placement over there from Anpu. But a lot of panicky rotations here towards the end. Set up for a Tetris now. Very dirty. Has to go for it now as long bar dependent. But does find said long bar. Looking for preferably a J-piece. Doesn't find it, so might opt to actually just... No, it's going to burn it out. 554 to now 550... We'll make that 556 and now 555. Beautiful tuck. Both players, 1 Tetris to go for level 19. And it appears we are running into a drought. 20 Dan finds the Tetris, transitions at 580. Anpu transitions at 559. Knocks down a Tetris, goes up to 583. 20 Dan also was able to find a Tetris. Another Tetris for Anpu and Tetris for 20 Dan. 631 and now 609. In terms of pace, they're just about dead even with each other. There's the Tetris for Anpu, goes up to 635. 20 Dan now having to get the board reopened. Has 2 lines to go through, now 1 more. Well is open for both players, waiting on the long bar. Anpu finds his first. 20 Dan still waiting to utilize one for a Tetris, and there it is for 20 Dan. 662 to now 665. Anpu actually with the pace advantage, but that's going to easily dissipate. Forced to make, or made a misdrop and is now forced to try and accommodate. Pieces are not finding accurate locations either. So Anpu's going to be set up in a burn. Going to be looking for an eyepiece. Hoping for it soon. Eyepiece doesn't come, having to go for flat placements. Still waiting on that eyepiece, and that misdrop might be fatal. Not sure what Anpu's able to do here. Anpu's going to top it at 673. 20 Dan evens up the match 1-1. All right, we got ready from both our players to get them counted down to game number 3, as we are now tied 1-1. We're going 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Starting off the game, both players have found a Tetris on the board. 20 Dan having to take some early burns. 5 burns here in the beginning. Nothing too heavy. Does allow Onpu a 1 Tetris lead, though. And Onpu actually, with a little bit of an emphasis on playing a little bit safer to get Tetris ready. 20 Dan, a lot of unfavorable misdrops. Now, JP is going to get everything cleaned up nice and tight. Tetris is going to be scored. And, oh, missed the opportunity for the J overhang for the Otug. Either way, things are stable for both players. Onpu, once again, 2 Tetris lead here in the beginning. And once again, 20 Dan having to do some more burns. There's a bright side to all of the burns that 20 Dan has been forced to do, is that they've generally been able to burn out of these with pretty good efficiency. $175 to now $215. Onpu holding on to the lead here. Still about 2 Tetrises in terms of pace, but was unable to use the last long bar for a Tetris while 20 Dan could. Both players score Tetris there, and Onpu finds another. By the way, pretty solid play from both players, and ooh, Onpu missed an opportunity to get Tetris ready there. $315 and now $272. Onpu on track for a 300k or not 300k, well past that. On track for a 600k transition with over 350,000 at 82 lines. And ooh, no perfect clear for 20 Dan. Was set up for it though. Actually, this game, Onpu's the one that's kind of behind in lines. Beautiful S-flat delay burn right there. What a decision to make. Both players, stable stacks, and they're both going to find a Tetris. 353 to now 430. As of right now, things looking pretty calm. There's another Tetris for Onpu. And 20 Dan with the conservative double there. Longbar was next and decided not to make any last second rotations to avoid doing any burns. Double Longbar is going to actually help 20 Dan out nicely. 446 and now 501. Onpu has extended the lead by another Tetris. Found just a little bit more efficiency somewhere. These players wait on the next long bar. And neither was actually able to use that next long bar for a Tetris. This is a Tetris for Onpu and Tetris for 20 Dan. 3 Tetrises remain possible for both players, assuming perfect play, meaning no burns. They're able to find the first. Nice adjustment over there for Anpu. As Anpu gets set up for the second, so does 20 Dan. Another Tetris for Anpu. And Anpu's going to transition 579. 20 Dan going to also transition here at 519. And the board's not the most comfortable. 20 Dan has to get pieces over to the left. The well got reopened, but then had to shut it down. Nice taps over here for 20 Dan. Beautiful burns. Well is open. Tetris for 20 Dan and the fist pump to confirm that he is still alive here in this one. But almost trails by 100,000 points as Anpu is at 634. 20 Dan at 555. It's going to knock down Tetris, and so does Anpu. Tremendous survival over there for 20 Dan. Clutch even. Ari's got a game ahead of him. Anpu trying to get Tetris ready. Not going to go for the triple. Doesn't settle. Takes the Tetris. 689. A couple of misdrops over here for 20 Dan. At 634 at the moment. Down by 50,000 points. Set up for a Cinderwell here. Column 6. There's the Tetris for 20 Dan. Double long bar to pin it. It's just going to burn the single. Transfer it back over to the right-hand side. 60,000 points is what separates these two as Anpu knocks down another Tetris. Goes to 748. 20 Dan maintaining a clean stack. Forced to take a triple. Long bar was nowhere in sight at the moment. Both players knock down the Tetris. Lead doesn't change. Another Tetris for 20 Dan. Anpu actually deciding to go a little bit conservative. Covers up the well. Unable to utilize that long bar for a Tetris. Is set up. Goes for the triple. Another Tetris opportunity missed. Takes the skim. Still up by 2 Tetrises and change. Make that 3. So Anpu waiting patiently for ideal pieces. Not going to take the triple just yet. Hangs a piece to the left. And now is going to have to burn to get it back under control. And the hang! That's a 6 high. Wait, no, that was 7 high, actually. Anpu had to hit a quick tap for that. It's a prime opportunity for 20 Dan. Down by just under 100,000 points as Anpu is experiencing massive complications. Not able to get pieces over to left and right. Anpu topped out at 864. 20 Dan needs 865. One Tetris will do it. Dan's just going the line out approach. Don't want to go too aggressive. A couple more doubles will do it. A triple even is good enough. 863. 864. One more line. And that's good. 20 Dan takes game number 2. Or his game number 2, but game number 3. That is the wrong person. Oops. Just some of the decisions you made. But right now, we're deciding to get this game number 4 underway. Let's go and get them counted down. Here we go in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Game number 4. 20 Dan is on match point. Can Anpu force a decider? Or Stochastic squad lock down the first point of the match? So right now, 20 Dan trying to get his stack locked down to a scoring position. Able to find a Tetris there, but had to take several burns in order to do so. Another awkward placement over there for 20 Dan, and Just gonna have to take the burns. Only 2. So not a lot. But if Anpu can find the Tetris here without having to burn too many lines. Oh, the burns are going to be forced over here on Anpu. It appears that we are running into a drought. Anpu's going to cover up the well. 20 Dan in a little bit of danger. Beautiful delay burn over there for Anpu, but decided not to use the J piece in order to fill the dependency. At this rate, 20 Dan going to be able to get back into scoring position a lot sooner than Anpu. Anpu does get the well open. Would love an I piece. There it is. Tetris for Anpu. A J piece would be L piece would have been godsend at that moment. But finds an alternative solution. A couple more burns were forced. But the board is now back into a position where Anpu can start building up to score Tetrises. Meanwhile, 20 Dan with a slight advantage here. Beautiful split double into a Tetris over there for Anpu. Currently in the lead by 40,000 points. It's 20 Dan waiting patiently on the next long bar. Does find it. Knocks down Tetris, cuts into Anpu's lead a bit. Anpu only going to be up by half a Tetris. Half a Tetris in terms of points, not necessarily line clears. 154 now for 20 Dan, 166 for Anpu. Both players at identical line counts. And both able to find a Tetris there. Good timing on that second long bar for Anpu. Otherwise, 20 Dan would have solidified a lead. And these pieces just not quite working out in favor of Anpu at the moment. Now 20 Dan has successfully been given a position to take the lead. Anpu goes for the S to the left. Love to get a L or a J. Gets an S instead. Like a J piece now. J or an I piece works. Not able to find any of those pieces within a relatively friendly time frame. Anpu's going to be continue to force to dig. Good recognition to go for the flat bar burn there. Anpu almost out of it. It's not going to be a Tetris. There is that hole in column 2. Those O pieces not doing Anpu any favors either. Almost a 100,000 point lead for 20 Dan now, who's been on fire for the past couple of lines. Finally, a Tetris for Anpu. 30 lines left till level 19. You're closing in on level 19. 291 now for Anpu. Trying to hold on to this lead. Long bar does come, and it makes its way over to the left-hand side. So both players able to capitalize. A lot of quick Tetrises over there for Anpu. This is game number 4. Anpu has to win this to bring us to a decider. There's the transition for both players. 416 for Anpu. 474 for 20 Dan. Anpu once again has to win this game to force a decider. 20 Dan needs to win this in order to guarantee the first points goes to the Stochastic squad. Both players knock down Tetrises on level 20. 3 Tetrises is what 20 Dan has. Anpu, nicely done. Way to open up the well. Long bar dependency did get created, so that does have to be addressed. Now 20 Dan, some minor complications, should be able to survive, but is not in a position to score until that well gets open. Anpu making the comeback here. 505 to now 513. 20 Dan, things are getting out of control, and they're getting out of control fast. Beautiful flat bar burn over there for Anpu. 20 Dan having to tap his way out of this one. Doing the best that he can with that Tetris. Anpu takes the lead. None of these pieces are falling in position for 20 Dan. And with that, we are going to a decider. Anpu takes game number 4. No, you're all good. All right. It's come down to this. We have found ourselves in a decider here in our first match. Let's go ahead and get them counted down. Here we go in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. OST, guys, original soundtrack. Even though it was OTS, but close enough. That being said, we found ourselves in a decider. Players will be afforded no more chances. This is it. Game number 5. Anpu this time is actually the one up to a less efficient opener. It's 20 Dan has only taken 1 burn line, it seems, so far. Triple is going to force him to burn more than 1 line. as things stand right now, pretty tame. We are almost even. 20 Dan. Whoa, this is a concerning board. 20 Dan can't hit the tap to the left. Tops out at 148. Onpu is good for the decider. Millionaires lead the match 1-0. What a heartbreaker. That being said, don't go anywhere. We still got plenty more matches to go. And this time we're going to have the re-debut of one of the players that was part of the original Millionaires Champions team. Coming up next, Firedox versus DDT. We'll be right back. Millionaires are actually 8-3. Stochastic squad are 7-4. Also earlier, thank you Cat Kit for the T1 sub for 24 months, 2 years. Woo! It's crazy. Thank you for telling me fireworks. think that should be Firedox's Twitch. Yeah. Alright, players, would y'all like to do same piece set? Seems that both y'all have gym, so it's possible. Firedox says, sure, the same piece says DDT. What do you say? Let's see. DDT, do you want SPS? Dude, just is still warming up. All right, there's your seed. Also, guys, Elden Ring DLC, like while players are putting in the scene, Elden Ring DLC trailer. Holy cow. Actually insane. We'll get on that, fireworks. But something we are about to get on right now, both players are ready. Let's go and get them counted down. Here we go in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. And we now have the re-debut of DDT, his first match since winning with Millionaires in Ignition. And Firedogs with his second match as a Ruby after recently getting a 1.1. DDT was a key player in the Millionaires' success that season, especially in the playoffs. So has the experience, know what it's like to be under pressure. And this past year at CCWC, made silver. Went out to Jeff, which is already a tough draw. So right now, Firedogs with some rough pieces here. Both players having to do some early burning. Pretty even here at the beginning. DDT does get the well open, set up for the next Tetris. Waiting patiently. That piece goes a little bit too far. DDT now going to have to tap something over to the left. It's going to be an unfortunate early top out. Firedogs takes game number 1. What a brutal drought, too. DT, yeah, just increment the first 2. We got the ready from Firedogs. DT should be 7A. You have it at 7-0. There we go. We got the readies. Let's go and get them counted down. We go in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. There you go. TOZ. Taz. Both players are in fact on same pieces. Unfortunate early top out in game 1. Really tough drought for both players towards the beginning. Firedogs just able to survive a little bit longer made all the difference there. But starting things off here, the players have been playing clean. He's going to take the skim, going to get Tetris ready. Firedogs, flawless play so far, but it's going to be forced to take a triple. So both players scored Tetris. DT is going to commit to a delay burn with the T. It's going to result in 3 burns in total. Does get the board Tetris ready and is able to find the Tetris too. 96 to 97. Your first 20 lines are done and over with. Firedogs, that's just going to be a triple at best. It's going to have to go for road 2 now. And not able to find use for any of these long bars that have been hitting the stack recently. So DDT is going to take the small lead here. 120 now 106. Ooh, nice little pole vault over there for Firedogs. Keeping hope alive for this game. Definitely not looking to exchange gifts. does mean that DDT is going to solidify a 1 Tetris lead here in the beginning. And that Z piece not doing Firedox too many favors. That JP is going to help out tremendously. 193 for DDT, 151 for Firedox. DDT now also going to run into a slowdown of his own. Hits the S-spin. Does get the well open. Not going to be a Tetris if he does find the eyepiece. Finds it slightly too late. Firedox is getting up incredibly high. Does find the Tetris. DDT looking for a J-piece. And just like that, we are tied once again. A little bit of indecision over there for DDT. Probably thought that the left side was open. Gonna need a long bar. Does find it. It's a T piece, another I piece, followed up with another long bar. Only trails by 1 Tetris throughout that entire exchange. And he's gonna be alive, and that S double is gonna open up that hole. And just like that, a pristine stack for DDT. And Firedox definitely not too happy with the build that's operating here. Tetris is not going to be able to be scored for quite some time. That triple is a gateway to start. No, he's actually going to take another triple. Just like that, DDT can take the lead back. He set up for a Tetris as Firedox burns all the way down to the bottom. There it is, Tetris for DDT. Firedox set up as well. $325 to now $320. DDT with the pace lead. Firedox with the real-time lead. There is Tetris for DDT, 366 now, 350. We're closing in on the level 19 transition. Two Tetrises available for Firedox. 3 available for DDT, and still holding on to the lead. There's 1 for DDT, 1 for Firedox as well. Firedox can afford 1 more. There's another for DDT. So he prepares to get set up for his last one. There it is. Firedox is going to transition at 447. DDT in need of an eyepiece. Good timing on that eyepiece. We'll love an L. That eyepiece is going to work. DDT transitions, 463. Tetris ready. Now waiting on the next long bar. There's the Tetris for Firedox into the lead. DDT is going to take the conservative double. Waiting patiently on this long bar. Small misdrop. And now DDT can't get the piece over to the left. That's the fast tap DDT is going to have to go for. And unable to do anything. DDT is going to top it at 469. Firedox leads the set 2-0. All right. We got the ready. Let's get them kind of down. We go in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. DDT down 2-0. Has to win this game to stay in it. Otherwise, we won't be seeing any mercy rules tonight. Starting things off, DDT has found 2 Tetrises. Firedog's looking for the second. And just forced to take some burns. That second long bar, rather that 5th long bar, nowhere to be found. We're in the midst of a drought here. Good old-fashioned Gauntlet drought. And there was the long bar for Firedogs. Couldn't use the first one, but could use the second one. Tetris or DDT as well. Long bar to help fill in the dependency over there for Firedogs. Nice adjustment for DDT. Not going to go for any burns just yet. Takes the triple. Long bar comes as soon as he decides to fold. Firedogs is going to take the lead. Tetris for both players. 101 to now 126. Ooh, I like the setup over here from DDT. Fortunately, doesn't find the pieces that he's looking for. So is going to be forced to do some burning. Going to be looking for a J piece. Ooh, nice J flat. An L piece would be helpful. Didn't get the L piece in enough time. And guess what? We're in the middle of another drought. Neither player could have used that long bar for a Tetris, but DDT is in scoring position. Ooh, small misdrop over there for DDT. Another misdrop. He can still survive, but he's going to be looking for an eyepiece to help remedy. Does find the eyepiece, gets the well open. Long bar depending on the left-hand side. Long bar comes way too late, but finds an alternative way to bring the stack down. Keeping up alive is DDT. Great dig on his part, but trails by 60,000 points. Deciding to take the triple. No, the Tetris is going to be scored over there for Firedogs. 181 to now 237. DDT still trying to make a comeback here. Only down by a Tetris. Of course, ahead tremendously in lines. But Firedogs did have to spin quite a few lines burning. And is not in a Tetris scoring position. Had to use that eyepiece to get Tetris ready. DDT goes for the T-spin. Decides not to set up for the Tetris in the center. Makes a little bit of an awkward T adjustment. And whoa, Sharky bro, T-spin over there for Firedogs. $241 now for DDT, $291 for Firedogs here. J piece is what DDT is looking for. An S piece can even be workable. J piece is found. Now needs the I piece. Decides not to tuck the S on the left-hand side. The center well is open. Goes for the horizontal tuck on the J. With that, Firedogs has already built up a 100,000 point lead. 360 for Firedogs, 248 for DDT. As he waits on this next long bar. There it is, Tetris for DDT. Goes up to 276. Firedogs goes up to 383. Go for the skim single. There it is, Tetris for DDT. Looked a little bit shaky on the tapping there. So staying alive, 325 to now 411. Both players just knocking down Tetrises rapidly. Nice 5 below over there for DDT. A nice overhang for Fire Dogs. Great set of adjustments right there for DDT. Allows him to get Tetris ready. Going to be waiting patiently on the next long bar. Finds it. Tetris for DDT. 372. A little bit of an S-bar building up for Fire Dogs, but should be fine. DDT with 1 Tetris left to go. There it is. DDT transitions 375 or 399. Fire Dogs transitions at 504. 100,000 point lead for Fire Dogs. So DDT has his work cut out for him in game number 3. Just going to go ahead and take the triple. Not playing too aggressive. Fire Dogs, nice chain of long bars right there. 556 to now 411. Tetris for DDT is going to bring that up to 437. But Tetris for Fire Dogs is going to continue to keep the lead. And Fire Dogs deciding to go for row 2 potentially. Another Tetris for DDT goes up to 464. No, Fire Dogs is actually going to burn this all the way down. Potentially some lost efficiency that DDT can take advantage of. There's the Tetris for DDT, goes up to 493. Gonna take the safety double. 617 now for Fire Dogs. Fire Dogs experiencing complications. It's diggable, but it's going to be a tough one. Those pieces are going to work out for Fire Dogs. Keeping Ope alive. It's going to be a triple, not a Tetris. But that's a Tetris for DDT. 531 and now 631. 100,000 point deficit once again. Fire Dogs has gotten the well open. DDT making the comeback. As Fire Dogs experiences more complications. Trying to keep the well open by any means possible. As Tetris is going to be score for both. 563 now for DDT. Small misdrop though. Does find the eyepiece, but now he's going to have to spend quite a lot of burns. Needs to get something over to the left. Eyepiece makes his way over. Those T-pieces finding their mark to the left-hand side. Both players dirty boards on 24. But they're both surviving. 100,000 point lead still for Fire Dogs. DDT hits the tap all the way over to the left. Not going for the triple. Going for the Tetris, but we're in the middle of a drought. No long bar. DDT tops out at 607. Fire Dogs gets away with a sweep. But, wow, look at this drought, though. That long bar wasn't going to be seen for a while. Stochastic Squad. That is not Stochastic Squad. Stochastic Squad evens up the match. 1-1. Don't go anywhere. We're going to have our captain's matchup coming up next. And after our captain's match, we're going to have a break. Going to be coming back at around 8 o'clock Central on the Tetris Gauntlet channel. So, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. ignore that. Remember, super kill screen at 39. Your seed is pinned in chat. All right. You have it ready from both of our captains. The match is tied 1-1. Let's see which one of these two is going to break that tie. Let's go and get them counted down. Here we go in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Of course, this is very pivotal. Both teams have 1 point apiece. Miles sets up a Vitz, a delayed one at that. Look at that. Able to utilize a lot of those bars early on. Noah has been unable to utilize a single one. Now both players are on the board. Hold on 1 second. Oh, both players are on the same seed. I was just really able to be efficient at the beginning. To be fair, I thought the same too. Whenever I saw the long bar count, saw Noah had 4 bars and Miles had 0. I was like, what? But as of right now, 283 for Miles. Wow. Strong showing here in the first half of level 18. Noah having to make up for lost time. He's really trying to focus on as high accuracy placements as possible. As it stands, Miles is going to be holding on to this. So we see a misdrop where Miles failed to utilize crucial long bars. Both players going to knock down Tetris. 334 to now 397. Miles having an endured drought at the moment. $517 for Miles, $474 for Noah. Wait, what the hell? Both players top out. For some reason, the seed is different. I just went back and looked at the VOD. Yeah, seed is different. But it makes no sense because both of y'all are on... No, the last digit is different. One of y'all put a B instead of... Miles put an 8 instead of a B. All right, then. Well, at first, like, the beginning of the game was suspicious. And then maybe I just thought I wasn't paying attention. Because then the long bar discrepancy, I was like, why hasn't Miles got his bars yet? And then it went, both of them matched each other in bars. And I was like, oh, okay, maybe I just missed, like, that long bar burst on Noah's side. So go to 1-7. Yeah, I pulled it up in the highlighter too, so I can verify it myself. All right. This time, both players are on the correct seed. I verified it personally. Now, let's get game number 1 underway. Here we go in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. SZLT. All right. Miles off to a early burn. But Noah's going to be the one playing flawless at the moment. He's going to be looking for some S's or some T pieces to keep it up. Well, that's not happening. Nice overhang to accommodate the S-tuck. And, oh, interesting. Noah decided not to fill in the L piece dependency. He's going to convert it into a J piece dependency or an S spin. And he's getting neither. There's the S piece. Hits the spin. Miles with only 1 Tetris on the board so far. He's able to find his second there. T-spin is going to be missed by Miles. A couple more lines are going to be forced on that part. As things stand, the players with ideal boards. Noah just with a slight advantage here in the beginning. Noah, 1 Tetris lead. Make that 2 over Miles. Beautiful 5 below for Miles right there. Able to find that adjustment. Tetris is going to be scored. 244 to now 261. Miles trying to survive up top. It's not going to be a Tetris, it's going to be a triple. And, oh, Miles missing the tuck there. Still only down by a Tetris and a half. Noah hasn't really been able to take too much advantage. See the delay burn set up over there from Miles. I like that play. Keep the well open at all costs. Have to take 2 burns afterwards. And it's going to need an eyepiece to burn out that second burn. The eyepiece does come. Nice spin over there from Miles. And there it is. Tetris 353 to now 362. Noah up top, forced to take a triple. The long bar comes in just enough time. Another Tetris over there for Miles. Long bar dependent now on column 3. 379 and now 395. Good set of burns over there for Miles. Noah's going to be able to extend his advantage. column 2 Tetris for Miles can try and score 4 more. Oh, beautiful overhang for both players. Different overhangs, but great results nonetheless. We're closing in on level 19 transition. Miles transfers the well back to the right-hand side. Sees the Corian adjustment and gets the J piece to fill in a dependency. It's a Tetris for Noah and a Tetris for Miles. Both players with one more possible. Miles takes a skim. Noah's going to transition 561. Miles transitions 505, down by 3 Tetrises going into level 19. Noah adds a Tetris to that deficit. However, Miles is going to fight back. 585 to now make that 610 to now 529. Noah in level 20 here. As Miles finds another Tetris, keeping the gap close. Only by 3 Tetrises. Noah going to be forced to do some burning. Not a lot of burning, but enough to give Miles an opportunity. An opportunity that RNG allows him to capitalize on. There's 2 Tetrises scored over there for Miles. 606 to now 618. Noah's not in any danger of topping out at the moment. But with that Tetris, Miles takes the lead. Just like that, a coin flip. The ties have turned in Miles' favor. But Noah's not one to sit down and back out. Tetris is going to be scored by both. 677 to now 659. Miles having to do a little bit of burning, trying to avoid creating a JP or eyepiece dependency on the left-hand side. Having to burn into level 22. Fills in the rightmost dependency first, and then addresses the left. Trying to get the well open. Well is now open. Miles trails once again by 40,000 points. Tetris is going to be scored in the perfectly timed T-piece. Nice adjustment found over there from Miles. There's a Tetris for Noah. And a Tetris for Miles. 725 to now 741. Both players just scoring Tetrises back and forth. Noah with the advantage at the moment. Also ahead in lines. Miles gets the well open. Another Tetris. There's a lot of long bars hitting the screen. Nice adjustment. Intentionally creating a long bar dependency to fill up the stack even more. 816 and now 832. Both players at identical line counts. Noah, another set of misdrops. Only it's going to take one burn to fix that up. Miles throwing pieces over to the left, waiting for the next long bar. We did see a burst of long bars throughout the last couple of levels. Miles finds the long bar, able to use it for a Tetris. Another hang for Noah. And with that Tetris, Miles takes the lead. Only by 1,000 points, though. However, Noah's not in a position to score a Tetris. This is a Tetris for Miles. 914 now for Miles. Another Tetris going to be scored. 946. Noah's bringing the stack down. Miles with the long bar dependency over there in column 7. Gets it filled and is now Tetris ready. Noah almost in scoring position, but these S's are poorly timed. Forced to go for inopportune S flats. Tetris is going to be scored for Miles. 3 remain for him. J piece dependent. Gets both the T for the tuck and the J piece for the dependency. Miles has maxed out. A17. Now goes up to A51. That's 1,051,000 points. There's a Tetris for Noah. 1 more left before 29. 2 left for Miles. Make that 1 following that Tetris. Game's not over. Triple is taken for Miles. Goes up to A96. Another Tetris going to go up to B32. We are on level 29. Noah down by almost 150,000 points exactly. Miles going to take another triple. Playing it safe, not trying to play too aggro. Nice skim. The Tetris is set up for Miles. Another one is scored. B91 to now basically A flat. Miles is setting up for another Tetris. Holding up at the long bar. Goes for a skim. Waiting patiently. Decides to go for the single burn as opposed to the triple. Follows up with a Tetris. Beautiful S flat. The board gets open over there for Miles, but Dingler in trouble. Needs to get pieces over to the left. It's not going to happen. Noah tops out at A10. Miles with over a 200,000 point lead is good for game number 1. Oh, hello. All right. We have it ready from both players. Let's go and get them counted down. We go in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Miles took the first game pretty convincingly. Maybe not necessarily in the early game, but on 19 definitely showcased stronger prowess, and especially on 29, able to knock down Tetrises and build up the lead to the already existing lead up to 200,000. And to start this game, both players off with a flawless opener. We got the flawless 20. Both players have successfully stacked up for another one. Question is, will we see that long bar in time? Tetris is going to be scored for Miles, then has to take a burn. Tie game. Noah's going to be the one to break that tie. Miles just forced to go for a bunch of burns here. But 163 to now 162. Miles forced to go for the Z spin. Very aggressive, or possibly a missed adjustment. Not missed, miss adjustment. Miles looking for a way to survive. Eyepiece would be very helpful here. Does get an L piece, makes it all the way over to the left, goes for the flat, or the double rotation burn on the J piece. Expertly done. That eyepiece is going to help out. Bring the stack down to a little bit more playable levels. And as if he was never in danger at all, Miles opens up the well, survives, and knocks down a Tetris. 207 and now 235. Miles potentially down by 3.5 Tetrises. But all in all, that survival at that point, up that high, was key. The Z-Spire is starting to form here in the center. Or off-center. Tetris is going to be scored for Miles. 277. Make that 299. Noah finds one as well. 330. Miles going to commit to the long bar dependency on the left-hand side. But players trying to get Tetris ready while Noah's aiming to get Tetris ready. Both players going to knock down Tetris right there. 324 to now 377. And ooh, a roughly timed S piece over there for Miles. Oh, hold on. Doesn't like that placement, but this could be interesting. However, the pieces that Miles was looking for just did not show up. It was definitely a creative burn available should Miles got the required pieces. Fortunately, it's just not available to him, and now he's being forced to do tremendous amounts of burning. Noah's already built up a 100,000 point lead. Miles does open up the well, finds the Tetris, keeping things going. $492 to now $426. Miles still struggling to get points on the board. Noah's looking at a 600k transition. Miles, if he can get out of this soon enough, might be able to get away with a 500k. Yeah, if he finds this Tetris here and now, it'd be a 501 transition for Miles. There is Miles going to transition at 501. Noah already at 600,000. Another Tetris for Miles. Noah trying to find one more. Another Tetris for Miles goes to level 20. Another Tetris for Miles, 577. Noah holding out for the next long bar. Whenever it is, and there it is, a 636 transition for Miles. Or not for Miles, for Noah. Miles is at 602 though. He's been scoring Tetrises at a rapid pace. Goes for the delay burn with the square. Unable to use the first long bar, but can use the next one. 688 to now 637. A level and a half discrepancy between these two. But Miles is definitely going to push Noah real-time score-wise. 665 for Miles, 715 for Noah. Miles looking for the right pieces to fill in that center. Gets it filled. Another Tetris is going to be scored for Miles. 692. Noah knocks down one and knocks down another. Goes up to 767. Miles at 720. Trying to be as efficient as he can. Another Tetris for Noah. Almost 800k going into level 22. And Miles just continuing to score. Tetris is 779 now for Miles. Love to get a J piece. Gonna go for the S-spin, misses it, and decides against the perfect clear. Only wants to take one burn line instead of two. And a Tetris will follow. 814 to now 850. It's gonna be a Tetris for Noah. No, Tetris for Noah, 908. We are looking at a max mid 24. We're going into 25. Depending on how efficient Noah can be. There's the Tetris for Noah. Yeah, max going into 25 is definitely possible. There's one more will give us the max. Miles is at 880. There it is, max into 25 for Noah, AO1. Miles having to do some burning. That's going to be a Tetris, but those spaced holes in the stack are going to prevent him from doing any kind of reliable scoring. Whoa, hold on a second. Miles going for a sturdy center wall Tetris. 956. Still going to be forced to burn. Noah at 833. Might have lost the first game, but is looking to turn things around and tie up the set. Tetris for Noah. One away from the 1.1. It's a Tetris for Miles. He does max before 29. Two more available for Miles with perfect play. Waiting on the long bar. Long bar nowhere to be found. Covers up the well at possibly the worst moment. There's the Tetris for Miles, but now he has some digging ahead of him. Able to get pieces over to the left. If he survives this, there's still a chance to win this game. And look at this down stacking effort for Miles. The precision, getting pieces where they need to go. Noah with a 1.2, it transitions to 29. And just like that, Miles is going to survive. 880 to now C38. Miles holding out for the long bar. Tetris ready. Goes for the triple, but gets Tetris ready at the last possible second. Noah experiencing complications. B29 for Miles here on level 32. Noah should be able to survive this. But this is lines that is going to be spent burning. Nice tuck over there for Noah. Miles knocks down another Tetris B74, making the comeback. But of course, Miles is ahead in lines. But he's Tetris ready. There's another Tetris for Miles, C15. At some point, pressure is going to be put on Noah to start scoring some Tetrises. However, pressure is put on Miles. Needs the long bar. Gets it over to the right, just barely. But now Miles is in surviving mode. Beautiful tuck. Nice burns. Miles brings the stack all the way back down to the bottom. D15 and now C73. Level 34 for Miles. Even though he's able to survive, he is running out of time. We're playing under the super kill screen rule set. Miles hanging his pieces on column 4 is going to top out at C81. Noah at D69. It's going to be good for game number 2, tying us up 1-1. All right, we got it ready from both players. Give them counting down. We are tied 1-1. Who's going to be the one to break that tie? I don't know. We're about to find out. Here we're going 3, 2, 1. Tetris. It's definitely a rough game for Miles on level 18. Was able to survive plenty of situations, not just on 18, but on 19 and 29 as well. Unfortunately, survival comes with a cost, and that is your efficiency. And Noah going into 29 with a 1.2, almost 200,000 points higher than Miles. It's going to be a hard disadvantage to overcome. But that game is in the past. It already happened. We're on game number 3 right now, and Miles with a flawless opener. Here's the flawless 20. Noah had to take some burns at some point, but it's only been 4. So 1 Tetris lead for Miles here in the opener. Interesting setup over here for Miles. Not going to be a way to maintain a perfect stack or a perfect Tetris rate after that. As a matter of fact, this has gotten pretty awkward pretty fast. Nice placement, though. I think that was intentional. But this is Noah's opportunity to take the lead. Tetris for Miles gonna survive. Tetris for Noah. 212 and now 219. Noah with the pace advantage as Miles actually sets up an eyepiece dependency in the center of the stack. Does get it filled. Now waiting on the next eyepiece to be used to score for a Tetris. 2 eyepieces actually hit the stack right there, and Miles missing out on an opportunity to be Tetris ready. 266 to now 280. No Tetris for Miles. Great tuck over there from Dingler. Nice overhangs over here for Dingler. Really building out the left. Looking for the most perfect pieces to fill in the center. as it stands right now, both players are going to be pretty comfortable. Miles keeping the well open does allow him to score Tetris. And nice triple. Now Tetris ready. Noah, on the other hand, still having to do a little bit of burns. Tetris for Miles, 410 and now 422. Noah looking for a J piece. And create an I piece dependency, decide to fill it in first. Giving Miles the opportunity to take the lead as both players knock down Tetris's. 447, make that 470 for Noah. 456 for Miles and 1 Tetris lead for Noah right now. And some more burns are going to be forced over there on Noah's part. Only 2. He actually found a very clever way to burn that out. As Miles waits patiently for this next bar. The wait pays off. Not 1, but 2 Tetrises is scored. Noah's actually not in a position to kind of capitalize off of anything at the moment. Beautiful T-vert right there. 519 and now 549. We might as well be neck and neck. Miles with the advantage in real time, but in terms of pace, actually Miles does have a slight disadvantage. Very slight. Three Tetrises remain for both players. Noah finds 1. Miles finds another. And Noah trying to go for the double tuck on the bits right there. It doesn't look like any more scoring is going to be allowed for Noah here before level 19. A 641 transition for Miles. What a way to bounce back from game number 1. Noah not going to go for the split double just yet. As a matter of fact, now decides to go for the split double. Small adjustment. Noah transitions 595. Still having to do burning. Meanwhile, Miles, one of the better stacks that you can ask for. Now, this is the best stack you can ask for. Tetris is going to be scored 716. Noah still trying to work with what he's got. A lot of S is going to complicate things even further. And Miles doing nothing but pushing the deficit even larger for Noah. But Noah's getting good pieces. Knocks down a dirty Tetris, so starting to fight back. Nice overhang over there for Miles. Goes for the... Oh, decided not to go for the T-tuck there. Well is open. Tetris going to be scored for Miles. Noah's back down into scoring position. Miles reopens up the well. Goes for a beautiful delay burn setup. Did have to use the long bar in order to help complete it. But things are fine. 830. Nice Corian adjustment over there for Miles. 830 for Miles. 692 for Noah. Both players on level 22. Miles is ahead in lines, but the lead is true. Both players knock down Tetris's. 859. Make that 888 for Miles here on level 23. Set up a long bar dependency, but did a smart delay burn in order to bring it down into a J piece dependency. There it is. Tetris for Noah. Another Tetris for Noah. Still trailing by 100,000 points as Miles waiting patiently on this long bar. There it is. Tetris for Miles. 923. Looking at a mid 25 max over here for Miles as he knocks down another one. Or at this rate, it's some max out into 26. Small adjustment. Holding out for the J piece. Doesn't need it. Gets an I piece instead. There it is. 820 for Miles. Sets up a bits. A lot of tucks over here. Now Miles is going left well. The stack is clean too. Not going to be able to do as many spins. That's the downside of going left well. He might just convert it back to the right, and he does so with those burns. 860 now for Miles. 868 for Noah. Looking for good pieces to try and address these holes. Beautiful J piece going to accommodate that hole perfectly. Now both players in scoring position. There's the Tetris for Miles. B28 to now 908. A 200,000 point lead for Miles. Miles is essentially doing to Noah what Noah did to him in the prior game. One more Tetris available. And there it is. Miles goes to 29 as CO6. Set up for a Tetris, knocks it down, but the left side has to be addressed now. C45 for Miles, 847 for Noah. Noah not going to be able to find one more Tetris, but does transition A49. Tetris going to be scored for Noah. Miles sets up a couple of delayed burns. Not getting the pieces for them. The left side needs a little bit of help. Gets the J piece over to the left. Would love an I piece. That's going to be a triple, not a Tetris. And now Miles still needs to find some way to address this left. His scoring potential is being hampered. And the 5-tap is hung over there for Miles. There's still a chance. Miles doing what he can. And Noah's board is getting out of control as well. Noah taps at a B37. Miles is good for game number 3. All right. Well, players are ready. Let's go ahead and get them counted down. Here we go in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. What a way to bounce back from game number 2. The 1.2 last game was from, or 2 games ago was from Noah. And Miles was going to be forced to play some tremendous amounts of 29 to make the comeback. And then this time, it was Miles with the 1.2 going into 29. So far, flawless 20 from Noah. Miles had to take 4 burn lines. Beautiful overhang for a T-spin over there for Noah. It's going to continue the Tetris streak. Noah's still trying to go burnless. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. Forced to take burns there, and his long bar dependent in the center. And the center dependency doesn't get filled. And that advantage is going to slip right out of Noah's fingers as Miles takes the lead. Seems like Noah's not getting the pieces that he's looking for. J piece is going to help. Not going to use the S for the double. Decides to use a square instead. And those Z pieces, not the most friendly. Does get the well open, but so much pressure is being put on that hole. The Tetris is going to be scored for Noah into the lead over Miles, as Miles has been unable to score Tetris. Finally is able to find one there. As Noah not going to be able to operate off of a Tetris well until the next eyepiece comes. And even then, That's assuming no one wants to go for row 5 Tetrises. Roller or not, that's going to be uncomfortable, no matter who you ask. Especially when your opponent is on match point. Tetris for Miles. Only ahead by a Tetris and a half. He's going to knock down another one. Help extend that lead to 2.5 Tetrises. Do love my Gauntlet seeds. Love to see the players suffer. But Miles is not suffering as much as Dingler right now. 322 to now 243. Added Tetris goes up to 266 for Noah. Seems that both players should be able to be in a pretty comfortable Tetris scoring position. Long bar couldn't be utilized for Miles at first, but can use the second one. Oh, Miles passes up on the Tetris there. Tetris is going to be found. 391 to now 335. 3 Tetris lead for Miles. He's looking to keep it up. LP's dependency filled with the eye. Players in this game alone have been able to manage a 42-piece drought. Not the most scariest drought, but definitely not a drought that you want. There's Miles being forced to burn here. The well does get open just in time. Noah doing everything to try and keep the well open. Tetris is found, but not going to be able to score another one until another long bar comes. Is going to have to wait on long bar to go for row 2. We are closing in on the transition. 511 for Miles, 478 for Noah. One more Tetris available for both. Noah transitions, 526. Miles transitions, 538. This is it. Noah has to win this game to bring us to a decider. Miles has to win this game to give Cole the advantage. There's Tetris for Miles, 571. Noah did take the lead. However, that misdrop on that L piece could be problematic. That L piece misdrop. Oh, burst out of nowhere. Dingler hangs and is going to top it at 599, but wait, that's not over. Miles needs to Tetris. Brings them at 597, 598, 599, and 600. Miles takes game number 3. What a deadly burst at the end and a crucial and fatal hang. Millionaires now lead the series 2-1. We will be back in 45 minutes on the Tetris Gauntlet channel to conclude this match. There's a bit of a scheduling compromise we had to make. Next match will be between Cole and Cobra. Or do I really just want to like tank viewership? So nice on the new PB. Well, I think I have my stuff set up. Maybe. Cobra. I mean, I don't think that's going to be me. I'm a pretty competent commentator. We can do a half Mega Master Qual. Let's see. What is my new, where's my new scene at though? I don't remember what I named it. Oh, here it is. Just change the stream title to intermission. True. We can do Vitz runs. Alright. We'll see what happens. Let me stuff set up here. Freaking camera's hot on cord. Alright. So yeah, we'll do Vitz runs while we wait on Cobra. Think this like him. Bro, my stuff broke. Hey yo, where's my chat widget? A number? Over or under 15? That's what we'll do. Over or under 15. Let's see. I'll just turn us off on... Oh, we actually had people on Facebook watching.